I came from a very humble beginning.
But you see the vision. You see the
and
vision.
I need a house.
Hi, welcome back. We are here with Bella, and she's going to tell us a little bit about real estate.
Yes. Hi. I'm your local realtor, Bella Marr. And well, the real estate agent just very new. But I've been in a real estate since I was 20 years. 20
So
years
for
of
20
age.
years.
Yeah. Since I was 20 years old.
Oh, since 20.
Since I was
Got
20
it.
years old. Yeah. I've been investing. I have properties outside the country. So I have properties in Manila, Singapore, and Japan.
Wow,
So I
interesting.
I have invested there. And it was not really my thing, it's not really my thing. I was like, I came from a very humble beginning, so I have to work harder. And it was, the time was taken away from me because I have to, I didn't get into investing until I was 20 years old, but because of
That's a young age. I think that's great.
yeah, but those are well, thank you. But the process was I have to start from 15 years old and make money to be able to buy,
purchase.
to capitalize in the
Absolutely.
real estate. Yeah. And then, like I was telling Brandon earlier, I'm big into flipping properties too. So
Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about that? Maybe that might help someone that may be interested. How easy is that?
It's not easy. It's not
There you
easy.
go. It's not that
It's not
easy.
easy. I mean, it's not easy, but I'm telling you, you could make money out of it if you really do it. Well, the thing is, you have to.
How do they go about it? Just go out there and get a foreclosed property?
No, not really, because
yeah.
mine was a total different experience. I was like, about to be homeless. I'm about to be home. Well, I was renting. For most people, they don't know. They thought I've been here my whole life. No, I've been only here in the States for 10 years.
10 years, and she owns property. That's awesome, Bella.
Flip multiple properties from the West Coast to now I'm here in Florida, my so-called new hometown. Yeah, so I was leasing, and it was it's after once your lease is over, then you're gonna have to find another apartment to live in, and it's just it's just so tiring. You're what do you call this? All the moving,
Right.
it costs you money too and
Absolutely.
time. Okay, when do I have to do this? I have a full-time job. When should I do my move? And then sometimes it was last minute. You thought your lease would be extended, but not.
Right.
If you think, right? So I was like, no, you know what? I'm always, like I said, I'm always on the real estate. I'm always watching on Zillow. I don't know. That's one of my pastime to do when I'm not working. I always look at Zillow, the prices. Well, the first reason is I wanted to know if I'll be able to purchase. Well, if you don't know the
So
number,
you went to the bank and got a
no,
prequalification?
actually not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I didn't even know that you need to pre-qualify
Oh,
to
okay.
purchase. See, I have totally oblivious about
Yes.
real estate. I didn't even know. Before that, I was just looking how much money I have in the bank. And then, I can buy this. Maybe I could buy this. And with Zillow, they comes with this all automated. You put in how much money you put on a down payment, and
Exactly.
so and then which is really good for.
It almost pre-qualifies you to know
It does,
exactly how much you qualify for.
Yeah, and I mean, to extent that I can do this. I can really do this. And then, I'm a massage therapist. So
you do massage?
I'm a massage therapist back then.
Oh, back then.
Back then.
Got it.
So I made I'm working in Vegas. So So
Wow.
it's like
So you did really well in Vegas.
Skills in Vegas, like if you're a bartender, massage therapist, hairstylist, go in Vegas.
That's where you're
It's
really
like
going to make it.
a
Here,
day-
guys, Vegas is place.
Like for 6 hours, and massage therapists, they don't really give us like long hours because they don't want us to be burned out on what we're doing. So
Right.
for 6 hours, like I can easily bank 300 there, 400, 500. Because just the tip itself, like when you think about it, it's like these people who are our clients on our table, they're like ready to spend their money.
Exactly.
I mean, like tip there for an hour massage is like $100.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice. $100.
Yeah. So yeah, and the services are so expensive too that you get commission. You're commissioning out of it. So when you think about it, they pay you by the hour, but very little. But then you barely think about it because like the commission that you're getting, and then on top of it, we have high rollers. We have celebrity. Like I would do. I did celebrity golf tournament, and I had Ryan Reynolds. All the names, and such like. And some of them, like I have to
Ryan Reynolds.
I have to sign an NDA and things like that. But it's really amazing. It's really amazing to. So that's how I get started, and like to be comfortable that I can purchase a house. Well, for me, it's just putting a roof on for myself.
Right.
And not even like thinking of like investing. So that happens afterwards.
So you had saved up a lot of money.
I have saved up because I guess I have this high expectation of what if I'm not very good in taking no for an answer. So I was like, so before I get into it, like I know what I can. Well, I have this much money, so why I can qualify. So and things like that. I guess I'm over analyzing things that.
Yes.
But now now that I'm like getting into real estate, people who have like bad credit score could even still qualify.
Yes.
With our competitive market right now, everything is possible. I'm dealing with a lot of people from other country too, who are most of their concerns are, well, I'm not U.S. citizen. Well, you know that you can still qualify even if you're. So I have people that I'm working on an asylum visa, and I was like, you can still qualify.
And they can still purchase.
I know, and like me, I was like, well, so I give them. So with my strategy, I have this, better than the Zillow thing. So we have this like pre-qualification. We do the numbers, and I have a group of like good lenders. Oh my God! Like I have a list of lenders that are very competitive, and they would do everything for you guys to qualify if that's the thing that you are. Like those are mostly the fear, especially
right.
for our young millennials. It's like I don't know if I could if I could qualify and things like that. Well, you never know until you try.
Exactly.
You can't like just like sit there wanted to purchase a house, but you're not doing anything. You gotta have. Well, I'm not here. Like I said, if you're not ready to buy, then don't. I will tell you, do not buy. If you don't feel the confidence to buy now, then why do you still? So, I wanted to know what's their end goal.
Right.
So why they're talking to me. So, but I wanted to help them because I came from the same background. I'm immigrant here, and the same thing. Like I don't know if I would qualify for a loan, but like I said, you gotta have to try. And then when I back in those days, one of my coworkers, she's a massage therapist, and she's a realtor too on the side.
Oh.
So she is she's amazing. So she was my realtor, and and to be honest with you, I'm very easy client. When I contact her, I was like, I told her like I wanted to see this house, and she was like, okay, well let's set you up, and then so she didn't even like ask for a pre-approval because we know each other.
Because she knew you.
So we get into the house, and it's so funny because this house, like, it's been in the market for a long time. And
What year was this?
2019.
2019. Oh,
2019.
I remember that.
2019. And this is back in the West Coast. So 2019. This is like the pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic,
Oh my
absolutely.
God. I know. This is what, like, this put me on a ringer. This house is like, so.
At least you purchased prior to.
I know. And this house was like, everything needs to go. It's not even a house. It's a condo.
It need to be renovated completely.
Totally. But then a lot of people don't know too. I'm a DUI.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
do, yeah. Oh, like
Nothing
people,
like being a real estate agent on top. Do it yourself.
I know, and then people would think like,
it.
I was like, oh, she just like wanted to dress. Wait till I change. I put backsplashes. So people who comes to our house is like, oh, are this like your husband? My husband don't know to operate those machines. Like I would change like carpet into wooden floor. I do all those.
Look at that.
Yeah, I have
Wonderful.
samples here, and yeah. So, well, the thing is, the key is because I know what I can do to the house, and
Yes.
I stage too. I stage properties, so I know
You're a
what
designer.
so I can visualize what I can do to the house. And then my one question from my realtor was like, Paula, why do you want to, what? So when we see the house, she was like, well, if we still have time, I guess she's so prepared before coming in
Yes.
to showing properties. So I guess she have a list of like properties that she wanted to show me. And I was like, well, I can still show you more properties if you want. I was like, because I mean, this is like, trust me, if you see the house, you won't even buy it. It's not worth it. I mean, but I don't think like that. Well, because of my experience.
Because you see the vision. You see the vision.
And when she said to me, it's like, well, I can show you more properties. And she said, oh, I have more if you wanted to see. And then I said, no, I know what I want. I want this house. And I was like, oh, well, let's see how motivated is the seller. Because I mean, I love the house, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to buy it for that.
Too hard.
Yeah.
Either.
And then so we put an offer, they grab it right away. And so that was good. And yeah, and she was like, oh well, you know what do you wanted to do, and so yeah, and then so we put an offer on the house, and little I know that I would be kicked out on the apartment very soon. And then here goes the pandemic. So while we are doing all the the loan process and things like that, we shut down everything. And so,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and so the bank would not
follow through with the loan or anything?
No, they would not. And I was like, they would, well, because everybody's not working.
Right.
And so, well, it kind of gave me an idea that, then they would not kick me on my lease because they're not kicking everybody.
Right.
So I was like, oh, so they're not kicking me. And so, but no, they are, because my lease is done. So I guess they can kick you if it's like let's say if you're behind but because my lease is over anyway.
Because your lease was up, they're
gonna
kick you out.
Yeah. And then I was, and now I haven't like bought the property because nothing is like going, and we kind of put a pause on the house. But then, we were under contract. So the guy who's selling, he's an agent too. So he's selling those are one of his investment property. And I was like, well, I don't like this. Is she gonna buy? I was like, well, she wanted to buy the house. My realtor, she wanted to buy the house, but nothing is like, well, it's up to him. He can just like, okay, I want to get out of this. Forget about it. And but then, who is he going to sell it to?
Right. Oh, wow.
Even if he backs out, we already invested. We already been, 15 days? We've been already in the process of like 15 days with the loan. And then so he doesn't have any option too. I was like so lucky because so I was like, well, so I talked to my agent. So what does he want to do?
Did it fall in your favor?
Yeah, and I said, yeah. I was like, well, he can back out. I mean, I could understand, but even if you put this back on the listing, it's still, who's gonna buy during those times? Nothing is like really.
No one. So it definitely.
And he's so lucky for me to put an offer on that house. Trust me, because no one. Well, I know my leverage when I put an offer on the property.
Exactly.
Because no one's. I know I don't have competition in that property. Well, that's the thing, like, why do you want it to put the same with most of the real estate agent? Like,
exactly.
When you're getting into a real estate, you don't want to compete with like 5,000 agent out there. You want to be different.
Exactly.
Because if you are competing with 5,000 agent out there, what's your fraction? And what can you bring on the table? And I mean, as a young,
you guys have to be creative.
Yeah, and then
really creative.
So I back to the house, and I was like, well, he can, he can put it back. So forget about the thing. And then, well, I know he would not say that because he can't put it back on the. Well, the thing is, like, when it goes back to, it kind of give a different stigma on the property. Oh, there's been usually, like, I always tell my my clients to not price it too high,
right?
Because those are like the worst thing that you could do on your client, to price it too high and then to come up to like lowering the price.
Lower and even lower at the end.
Yeah, and then because it would show on the history of the property,
exactly.
And it's not a good. It's not good in the eyes.
No, it devalues it even
exactly
more.
Because it was like, oh, what's wrong with this property? Why do they have to lower it? Even if it's like back to the guy who's like selling his house, even if it's what is this, like, oh, the financing fell through. But it still looked bad on his property. I mean, it's bad already for the property because you have to renovate that house completely.
Yeah.
And now you're going back to list it again because the financing fell through. But then most people doesn't think like, oh, maybe there's something behind it. That's why it didn't fell through.
Right.
Because there's more about it behind it. So so he was like, well, he's an agent too, and if he's smart, he would not put it on the market again. So he was like, and then I said, well, I'm seriously wanted to buy the property. I told my agent, it's like, what we can get into how we could, we could work this out. And he said, well, because he's already on under contract with you, so. But he was like losing because he was able to finish his contract because he has a renter, and he has to let the renters go because I'm buying it.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
or you could have bought it and still continued to rent it.
Right. So now he's not making money, and I was like, well, you know what? This is perfect. So I'm over with my lease. I could rent that property until we're like, so then he's not losing money. And I was like, well, so, and he was like, well, yeah, I would tell. So we negotiate. So I move into property. So that was like, this is like in the midst of pandemic. And I was actually here in Florida because
Wow.
everything was like stopped, and then so hey, I barely see Lance during this time, so I was like,
Yes.
this is the time like I could spend time with him because I'm not working, and then we flew back to Nevada to help me move.
Wow.
Yeah, so then it worked out. It worked out well. So I get to move in that house during the pandemic, and gosh, like I can't renovate anything because we haven't like sold. I haven't like bought the property yet because everything was
Right.
like stopped. And then as soon as I got the house, I start renovating, and oh, trust me, I put plaster on everything. I don't want any of my furniture touch the ground. It was like it's so. Oh my god. And
Yeah, you definitely want to renovate it before you enter
Yeah,
it, especially
yeah.
if it actually needs to be renovated for sure.
But then, back then it's like this is not time for, being picky or anything, but I need a house.
Of course.
I need a house. I mean, although I'm like staying here in Florida, I want my properties, all my, my personal properties are secured in the house. So, yes, as soon as we close.
Do you think it's easy, how shall I say it, for our public who are listening to us?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that easy actually purchasing a house. For one, you would need to make sure that you have funds, your deposits, make sure that you get pre-qualified. Give our audience a little bit of
not
advice,
not
if you
so
will.
much of that. One thing, like when when you were, if you think like you wanted to purchase or you're planning. A lot of people like planning too. Been planning for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then they're just like scared because of like. I mean, I can't blame them with the interest rate right now, but as long as you have like really good credit score, that's what they're.
What's a
they're
great credit?
looking- I would say
or good per se.
Yeah, for me, like.
What credit score does the real estate or mortgage company?
Well, it depends. It depends on the thing and whether they depends. Honestly, it depends on the thing. But I would say if you have like to be. I'm always
What's
like,
a safe credit
I'm
score?
always like on the safe side,
Right.
just in case. I would say 680.
680, guys.
680
is a safe credit score.
People would say 650. 650. I'm just I always wanted to be on the safe side because at the end of the day, it's you qualifying your client and your time. You want to save your time too.
Exactly.
If if they have like 650, anything can happen. And I was like, well, at least when you're on a 680, you're still like safe, and like the possibility that it would not work is very, very low, I would say. I mean, we work for lower than that, but it's gonna be a work. It's gonna be a work. Yeah, like my previous deal. Well, I can't like even emphasize on the client, but then the previous deal is just like it took us a long time. It took us a long time, but also it's not just that. For our we have a lot of like a lot of people doesn't also understand that there's a lot of things there in the market that you could that you can capitalize to for let's say your first time home buyers. So they give you.
Does that exist?
Oh,
First
it
time-
does exist.
Okay.
It does exist. So that's why.
great.
That's why I'm able to help a lot of people from like immigrants because they've been renting their whole life. And one of my clients actually in the spa, because she was like, well, I'm actually because I have rental properties, and I was like, he was like wanted to, well, how much do you rent? And I was like, well, not how much do I want it to. Well, first of all, I don't want to rent it to him because we're friends.
Right. It's hard.
It's hard. Like they said, if you want to, you want to be successful in your career, do not include family and friends, because things gets in, with when money involved.
It can get sensitive a little bit.
Yeah. So I said, it's like, well, how much are you paying for your condos right now? And then, well, this I think he's paying like around 2,000 plus because he's renting a house.
2,000.
He's renting a house with bunch of like roommates. So that's what
Oh,
he
wow.
do. So with a bunch of roommates, and he always caught up in the middle because the lease is under his name. So
Of
when the
course.
people was like found another or like migrate somewhere else, so he's left with 2,500 rent. So, and I was like, you're paying 2,500? I know, and I barely like leave there, Bella, because I travel a lot. And I was like, oh my God. So what are you looking to rent, for rentals? So I would say, like 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So I showed him like the thing on Zillow that he could, this is your thing you can do at home to be,
You gave him some pointers.
Yeah, and then his credit score is amazing. He's just like scared to that, and then things
It's always
like that.
a little skeptical.
So I told him like, okay, here. So I showed him, the this auto thing to qualify, to see how much to put on a down payment and things like that. And he was like, and then we came up like 16. No, it's actually 1,400 for a
Better for him.
yeah, for a FHA because he's a first time home buyer.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, my rental, what I'm paying for rentals is more than that. I said, I know. You've been renting your whole life and you didn't even know that you could qualify.
Look
You
at
could have
that.
owned.
He could have owned for less.
Yeah. And still, so I was like, well, let me better my credit score. It's better now, but hey, give whatever this is the thing. It's not me. It's not me. It's them.
Excellent.
If they're not, you don't want to push them.
Sometimes I feel like people get scared and skeptical a little bit when they don't realize that they can actually qualify for a home, right?
Yes.
And,
well, it's a big investment.
It's a large investment, and not only that, it's your biggest credit card.
Right. Yeah, and then they always like think that's the same with my fear. When I first, put an investment when I was 20 years old. Well, I was working for my uncle, and well, he's not my, but I was working with my uncle, and I was making huge of money compared to kids my age. I mean, yeah, like I didn't experience, the clubbing and things like that, but I have so much money compared to not even the kids my age, people who are twice my age. I've been making so much money. And I was like, and these were all on my savings account. And for this was back like 19 years old. Like 19 years old, I was like making so much money.
Wow.
And I felt, when you're young, back in, because I'm in the Philippines back then, and then the cultures are so different, and then I felt like I'm working for my uncle and I'm making all this money, and thanks to him, but I felt like I was like stealing from him. I don't know why I felt that way, and I felt because I guess like I'm making so much money for that age, and I was like, and I kind of wanted to. Let's put it somewhere. I have this inside me, like I have to take it out from my savings in case my uncle would check my account, which he would not, of course.
Right.
And so
But that's great that you saved
a
lot of money.
and then I was like, but it was like really. What if something happened? What if like the bank took away my money? So I was like, it was only in one like thing, and I said I need to branch out. I need to out of scare, like because I'm scared.
Absolutely.
Like so.
You felt like it back in the days when our parents would have it under the bed, under the mattress.
I know, right? There's like kind of and then I was like, I mean, there's
Where do I put it?
Yeah, but and guess what? So I started where there's a building. They're making a new building. It's like a 4-story building in front where I'm renting. Well,
Yes.
I'm not renting. My uncle, because I'm working for my uncle, so he's paying all my expenses. And I was like, there was this like high rise that they're gonna put there. There's this billboard. Nothing is there, just like a bunch of land. And then I was like, you know what, let me go. They have open house and then ongoing open house. So I went there. And how much, for the house, how much is like monthly and things like that. I was like, oh my God, like I can pretty much like buy like 3 of this with my money. But then another fear is like, what if my uncle found it and kicked me out? What if he kicked me out and now I don't have a job and I don't have a job to pay all this? Guess what? My dad always tell me, if you wanted something that you wanted so bad, you would do with all your powers, not
do whatever it takes.
To not take it away from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's true.
It's very true.
It really manifests, because now when you have that fear, then you gravitate to, now I have to, like, if I have 2 jobs, maybe I need to make it 3 jobs.
Absolutely.
So, and then you until it's like, oh my God, it actually worked. You just don't stop. You just don't stop until
just keep going. Yeah. Persevere.
Yeah, because maybe you're like thinking, it's like, because those fear are valid, but at the same time, you don't even know if that's the real problem. You're just anticipating, like trying to solve the problem before it right on your face, when it's not even a problem.
Exactly.
But then when you find the solution and then kind of like breathe in, and it's like, but at least I did this. It kind of pushed you. You use that as your motivation to not lose that property that I really. But then I come clean with my uncle. I was like, hey, I know it's like stupid, but so I sat with him one day and I was like, I gotta have to talk to you. I was like, oh my God, what did you do now? He was like that. No, so I start like investing on the condominium across the street, and he was just he was like just looking at me like drinking his coffee. Go ahead and sit there. He's like, go ahead and sit. And I was like, oh, why are you telling me this? I was like, well, I don't know, because maybe what if like you kick me out and then I don't have a job, and he said to me, listen, when I took you from your family and like teach you all this, how to make this money and things like that, it means I see something from you, Bella. So he was like telling me that I see something from you. And I was like, and he said, trust me, this is not going to be your first and last property. And after that, I have bought property. Well, the thing in the Philippines is like all brand new. So you're investing. They're not even there. They're not. And this is one of the things, they're pre-selling this house. They're pre-selling this house for so low because there's nothing there. You don't have a house until they're done building it. But when you think about it, they don't have a building there. It's all just bunch of land, and you're putting a money every month, and you put a down payment, and then you're paying
like a pre-construction.
Like a pre-construction.
Got it.
But they have a delivery date. So let's say back then it was like 2000, maybe 2009. Let's say 2009, and then their delivery date is 2011. So the house would be there. The house the condo that you're paying for, we're gonna be there in 2011. But if you think about it, once it's done and delivered, people who are just starting to buy a property there, it wouldn't be for the price that I bought it. It would be 10 times more.
Of course, because after a couple months or even within that month,
they're building equity. They're building equity. And this is like brand new house. So no, the reason why I invest on the pre-selling property because they're so cheap.
Yes.
Because there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. But then when you think about it, my money is sitting on a bank. So 2009, 10, 11, so that's 2 years. Even if let's say I just end up, I don't want to invest on the property, just let my money in the bank. My money in the bank would not make that.
Will never make the same interest.
No, because they were like for example, back then, I don't know how much is it, but in peso, in Philippine peso, it was like 1 million for for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And when they deliver it, it's $5 million.
Wow.
So see how much money I make for 2 years.
Smart.
But then, so, and by the time too that they deliver it,
Buy pre.
I already fully paid the house. So now I'm ready. So I already purchased another pre-selling, a little bit more money.
Exactly.
And then I was renting the first one and it's paying for itself.
So, Bella, tell us a little bit about how it is image-wise in the real estate world.
Oh my God, image is important. Yeah, it's important. I mean, I guess not in just the real estate.
Everything.
Everything, yeah. I mean, people get to judge you by your look, you know. But then, yeah, we set a very high standard into look, you know, when it comes to like professionalism. I mean, you don't have to like really, but you and yourself and how you present yourself to your client is really important. But if you look good, that's a plus. It's always a plus.
Absolutely.
If you, especially if you guys like watching, you know, like Selling Sunset.
Yes.
Like how.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they all wear extensions.
Oh, really? So see, I didn't even know that.
Yes. What are your thoughts on extensions?
Oh, I mean, that's amazing. You know, like especially like me. Oh God, I didn't get to color my hair until I start real estate because I have to, you know, I have to brand myself. I have to brand myself, like kind of to elevate. I mean, I like, you know, I've been
your color
dark
looks
hair.
great.
Thank you. It's been like dark hair, and also I do hair too.
You do hair as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
I study in
wonderful.
Hong Kong for a long time, but I just don't want to do someone's hair. I just do it myself.
Of course.
I just do it myself.
Do you color your hair?
Yeah, I color my hair.
Wow.
Yeah, I color hair. I think that's why I kind of kill it because sometimes when you know, depends on your mood, you know,
Yes.
like it changes like so. Yeah, but don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
yeah,
do yourself.
Don't do yourself. And also, I don't even have a time to do my own hair now, you know, because of the real estate. But yeah, back into like extensions. I mean, why not? You know, I mean. Yeah, especially.
I have extensions on.
I know I didn't even like realize.
I love
you
my
have
extensions. Wouldn't leave without them.
Can you like change it like all the time? Like
well,
the
it's a
extension?
permanent attachment for 4 weeks.
Oh, for 4 weeks.
For 4 weeks, yes. It's not a clip-on extension. There's different types of extensions that we offer, but clip-ons are if you want to do it. If you're going out for the night, for the evening, those are great. You clip them on, you take them off, and you have your hair. You feel free, and you're liberated of hair extensions. But I like the more permanent. I don't have the time, and I don't know if I always put it on correctly.
I know, and then sometimes when you're rushing too. I don't know. I'm like so sensitive with clip-on. I tried that younger age.
Clip-ons are not for everybody.
Yeah, it just give me headaches. I don't know. It just give me headaches.
Well, it depends. It might have been too heavy.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Well,
it could be too heavy.
Yeah.
So if you're wearing
or maybe I'm not putting it right too.
Or you're not putting it on correctly.
Yeah.
But yes, if your hair is very thin and very fine, the weight of a clip-on extension might be way too much. Might not work. And that's where you can get that headache.
Right.
Absolutely. But I love them. I wouldn't change it. I do tape-ins. I feel like they're light. And if you have fine hair, like yourselves, it would be perfect.
Oh, that's like... I didn't even know that was a hair extension.
Well, here you go. Natural as always.
And then what are these?
So our product line, we just launched our new product line, and we have a whole shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, which is great for your hair. It actually hydrates your hair. You will get one of these today, so you can try and you can tell us and let the public know how great our product is.
Oh God, I'm big into, you know, like styling our hair all the time too. It kind of,
you must have something to protect your hair prior to putting that curling iron or the flat iron.
Yeah, I am big into, you know, I have a heat, you know, with the
heat
protector.
Absolutely.
And all those, but I don't really style my hair often, you know, But it's so funny because I really have my natural hair is curl.
Oh, nice.
So my
Not
natural
everybody
hair
has
is
that.
curl, but not a big curl though. Not a big curl. So then when I curl my hair, I don't really have to put a like a hairspray to kind of keep it.
Right.
It actually lasts. Yeah, they
That's
do last. Yeah.
good.
But no, like the leave-on conditioner, those are amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, girls know that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has been fun. We've learned a lot with you, Bella.
Oh,
Why don't you
I mean-
share to the public your social media and a little bit about
Yes.
you
So
and where they can follow you?
I'm big on TikTok. I'm big on TikTok. This is because of my husband. Like big on TikTok, Facebook. Not so much on Instagram, but I'm building there. But I have Facebook and TikTok, and I also have a YouTube and
Share your
YouTube
name.
channels. Yeah.
Where can they follow
So
you?
you can follow me, and I don't even know my TikTok thing, but you can find me on TikTok at Bellamore04. And I believe, yeah, so Bellamore on Facebook too. And Instagram at Pure Soul Bella. So that's where
Nice.
you could like find me. And I have YouTube channels too. But I guess not as big as like Jackie YouTube. But I'm getting there.
You will. You will. Thank you so much. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.